Starting sophomore year, I really felt like I was getting to the MIT culture, the MIT spirit. So I just finished off my stint as freshman class president. I won the election. Gave that up to do other things. I was working in the admissions office. I was doing a year up for the first time, so my first time really doing physics research. Going to wrestling still. So doing all the things that I wanted to do. Classes are going well, doing well in my classes. Despite small things coming into my way, I was doing great, and I was ready for my trip to Austin because it would be sophomore summer, going to junior year. It'd be the first time doing research somewhere else. So I was really excited for this summer RU. I'd been talking to my advisor about this program called Taurus, where you go to UT Austin. You're there for most of the summer, and you're working on a research project with a postdoc or faculty member. So it's part of a summer REU. And I was really excited. I mean, I'd never really traveled west before. So you go to the Lone Star State. I'm thinking about, half-pint mugs of lemonade and giant racks of ribs. So it was really exciting. So I go out there looking to meet new people as part of my cohort for this REU, working on a project with galaxy protoclusters. So looking at objects from a far redshift, so far away distance, seeing give us a better idea how they form into galaxy clusters. So it's really exciting learning Python, getting to work on the school's laptops because we were at UT Austin, and it's really great. And during some of that time, I was a little confused about what was going on because I found myself occasionally getting to work late. A few times I didn't show up and didn't really say anything. Before, if I was sick, I'd email, but it was really confusing to me because I didn't know why I didn't feel so unmotivated, because I wasn't I'm gonna blow off work and go to a bar or something, or I'm gonna blow off work and go walk around and do other stuff. I just was in my room not really feeling engaged. Kind of felt like I was not putting a piece up, but I was putting life. And it was a little difficult to even explain to myself. I didn't really understand what was going on. I had no clear concept, but we try to persevere, push through the summer, get most of my project done. When we come back, it's like, okay, that summer wasn't 100% what I wanted to be, but we still got a lot done. We're gonna shake it off, water under the bridge. Let's get ready to junior year, because sophomore year went so well. We're just gonna keep it up, keep the pace going, and then everything just collapses. After the first week of going to class and trying to do piece sets, it just stopped. And not just stopped class. I really stopped everything. I didn't go to class. I didn't turn in piece sets. Didn't work on classwork even when I missed class. Then it became I was just sitting in my room. I'd order McDonald's at 2 a.m. because either I'd just woken up or don't know what time it was, but I was still hungry. It really got to the point where I was kind of working against myself, actively not seeking help. So I wouldn't email people, I wouldn't respond. People would come knocking on my door and I would just sit there silently, just waiting for them to go away so I could continue to be alone with these thoughts I didn't really understand. I didn't understand that, I didn't accept that. I knew my family had, mental health issues and, between my immediate family, and I'm just thinking that's, I can sympathize, but I can't empathize. That's not gonna be me. I'm doing fine. I did well in high school, 4.0, despite, dad dying junior year and all those other difficulties at home. So that's not me. And it really got to a point, just that continuing downward spiral. I was, not like I wanted to, but just found myself really, really close to suicide. And I didn't, I somehow made it through that night, thinking, I should be at a hospital. I should go seek sort of intensive help, but I did Band-Aids, when I needed, if I needed surgery, I really just put Band-Aids on thinking this will be fine. So I talked to S-Cube and talked to mental health and kind of got stuff to get through the semester. We get to junior spring and thinking, okay, same thing at the start of the last semester, shake it off, water under the bridge. I don't know what that was. I'm not depressed. I don't need these, pills. I don't need pills to sleep, pills to help me feel better. I don't need this, thinking that I'm not depressed. It's not me. It's someone else. And to my surprise, the same thing happens again. Start off, I'll occasionally have an up day and then a down day. I have an up day and 2 down days, and I have an up day, and a week goes by, and then it gets to a point I don't even remember what the last up day was, and it was really, really disheartening, feeling like I was caged in myself. That I had all this aspiration and motivation, and yet I continually find myself just sitting in my room, just looking at the ceiling, not going out. But at the end of that semester, like, okay, I'm on academic warning, so thinking it's going to be hard to graduate in 4 years, but hopefully if I can petition and get through it, we'll be fine. So get to the summer, you're up in here, same idea, shake it off, wander under the bridge. This isn't me, because I'm not depressed. And we get to the summer and the same thing comes in where I'm not, it's much worse where I'm not coming into work and I'm not doing things, sitting in my room, not knowing what time it is. But at least make some little acceptance, like, okay, I need some more help. I need to see these resources on campus more often. I need to, understand that I need to take more time at MIT, and that's okay, because I'm still trying to work through it. So we finally get to December, after having to drop more classes, figure out how to get through the semester, feeling all this self-hatred, this self-loathing, all this ambition with no action, really kind of weighing on me. Also looking at my peers, they're going about doing amazing things. They're talking about I'm stressed for finals and I'm not going to be having finals because I'm both stressed and unstressed. Caring that I'm not doing well and not caring to the point where I don't move at all. We start one day at 9 a.m. going to S Cubed, and had some of my dean and people with mental health. They're all talking, part of my support network, and they're like, my dean brings up the idea, hey, maybe we should go to the hospital. And I'm thinking, no, I didn't need these pills. I don't need this. I'm not depressed. That's not me. I don't need to go to the hospital. Thinking that I'm going to be stuck there like handcuffed to a bed with an IV in my arm until someone just like puts a stamp on a paper that I'm better. So that's not me. And that was 9 a.m. still ruminating on the idea. I don't need this. Go through my day of doing nothing until 4 p.m. where I go to mental health. And to my surprise, oh, hey, what are you talking about? I think you should go to the hospital. You've been trying a lot of things that hasn't really worked out for you. I think this is the best way for you to get there. And so while I'm trying to talk to him and figure out more about this, try to be outwardly more accepting, internally I'm just kind of like almost angry still. This isn't what I need. This isn't me. This isn't who I am. This is meant for other people. This isn't something that's going to benefit me. I don't want to be strapped there against my will with no freedom, and I don't want to be strapped there, to a bed, no freedom, nothing to do. It's not where I wanted to be. And then at some point in the conversation, the doctor takes and asks me, if you don't go now, what will you do? And to this day, I really kind of go back to that point and think about how that's helped me. Because as much as I was still sitting there like, oh, I don't need this. I don't want to be here. This isn't the place for me. I don't need to go to the hospital. I couldn't escape the fact that as much as I wanted to just, go get dinner and, go back to work and go back to being a normal student like I was the first 2 years, I knew that it wasn't going to materialize. This wasn't something I'd really shaken off, and it wasn't something that wasn't going to fix itself. So after kind of dispelling a little more of the myths about going to the hospital, understanding what that would really mean for me, that I'm not just stuck there till someone stamps it and says you're either good or you have to stay forever. I decide to go, so I go back, pack my things, and we go to McLean, where I stay there for 2 weeks. But it was really helpful just having time to, some of the workshops with coping skills really helped. Having time to just sit there and reflect, like, okay, if I do the same thing, expecting a different result, then, Albert Einstein called me crazy, and I should too. But just sitting there reflecting, like, okay, this is where I am now, but this is where I want to be, so I have to take these steps. And talking to people that, not sure if my friends could really understand, they might empathize, but having people that, they're also there to really help pull me through, help me like, hey, you're in a good spot, you're doing okay, you can push through, we're there to help you, was really eye-opening for me. So we get through, we get out of the hospital, we finish up, and, thinking, okay, same idea, we're going to the next semester, shake it off one out of the bridge. But realizing that, it might not shake off so easy, and that it's okay to take those small steps. It's okay, just getting out of bed is a victory each day. Eating more than, one meal is a victory each day. And that slowly built up for me this semester. And I'm glad that, my classes so far haven't looked the same way they have the last 3 years. I'm really hopeful that I can continue this path now that I've come to accept, like my diagnosis, my depression, and kind of come to know and understand like who I am, and that this doesn't define me. This isn't the end all be all for me.